I will be the first to say, and you guys heard it on other episodes, but I wasn't one. I didn't think that they should have had an All-Star game slash weekend, whatever you want to call it, in the middle of a pandemic. I did, however, say I understand why they're doing it. Of course, because of money, how much money they're losing with no fans, or some teams have no fans, some teams do have like a minimal amount. I understand why they do it, especially the money that they lost on the bubble. Like they're trying to recoup. And players understood that too. While LeBron James wasn't really for it, Giannis wasn't really for it, Damian Lillard wasn't really for it, but they understood, and of course they acquiesced and played. With that being said, I want to shout out and I want to congratulate the NBA on not only a successful All-Star weekend, I guess you can say, but the fact that they did it right. And this is one thing that the NBA does a lot is you see they do the right thing a lot. I'm not saying that they're perfect. And I'm not saying that they only care about players or outside organizations. I'm not saying that at all, because at the end of the day, money is money. But I will say congratulations to the NBA for getting it right. You already understood that a lot of players and a lot of people were against having an All-Star game due to a pandemic. So what do? You connect it to a cause or connect it to an organization that, one, doesn't get a lot of love, and two, is very important in the very important in the backbone of the United States, even though people don't want to talk about it. And that is HBCUs. You saw Thurgood Marshall, you got Florida A&M. I went to a HBC in Voorhees College. Like, the fact that they raised so much money for HBCUs, and HBCUs were front and center the entire experience on Sunday, was incredible. And it's just beautiful that you see KD, who wasn't able to be there. He shout out some HBCUs. LeBron and Steph. Players that didn't go. Hell, shout out to Robert Covington. He did go to, I think it was like Tennessee State or something. But I just like how they understood that there was scrutiny going into the All-Star game. And I like how they put HBCUs front and center. Now, I hear a lot of people saying, well, Jay, they're only doing this for the fans. They're only doing this, so the heat can get off of them. And after the All-Star break, they're not going to care. Here's the thing, man. I understand that they probably did it so they can get some of the fans back that were upset about doing the All-Star game during the pandemic. And I understand that once the All-Star weekend is over, which it is over now, a lot of the talk from the NBA about HBCUs is going to die down. I understand that. But let's not discredit what they did. And let's not, even though if it was for a short amount of time, even if it was for a weekend or a day, let's not discredit what they did. They raised thousands upon thousands of dollars for HBCUs, for causes that HBCUs are attributed to, and they shine light on us on entities and organizations that don't really get love. Especially, and here's the thing, when we talk about HBCUs in the United States, usually we only talk about Howard or Florida A&M, but there were so many other HBCUs in that they highlighted, which was beautiful. And it's like, I know a lot of people say, for instance, and I'll tie it to this. LeBron James started school. Shouts out to LeBron James. I think the I Promise School or something like that. Russell Westbrook, I think, announced last week that he's starting a school as well. And a lot of people were saying, oh, see, he's trying to be just like LeBron James. He's riding LeBron James' jock, everything. When you're doing something positive, who cares who started? It's just that you're doing it. And I'm going to tie it back into this weekend with the HBCUs. Yes, I understand that it's the hype for it, especially on the NBA side, is going to die down after the weekend. But the fact that they were still able to raise this much money, they still able to get eyes on these schools. Yeah, I'll take that over not doing it at all. So, shouts out to the NBA for doing that. Shouts out to all the HBCUs that were highlighted. Shouts out to anybody that went to a HBCU. Like I said, I had the privilege, even though I didn't go to a huge HBCU, I had the privilege of experiencing an HBCU. Like I said, Voorhees College, I went there for 4 years. So I understand the love and the connectivity that comes with HBCUs. Like I said, I played basketball, so I know how important homecomings are. So yeah, man, shouts out to everyone that was involved for, you know, the HBCU side of All-Star Weekend. But let's talk about the event that happened on Sunday. First and foremost, I also give another shout out to the NBA for, while we're used to a whole weekend, we're used to the celebrity game, we're used to the rookies versus sophomore game, or the Team USA against Team World, or whatever they call it now. We're used to a weekend. I respect how they were able to do it in in one day. How they were able to do the All-Star game, they're able to do the slam dunk contest, they were able to do the skills challenge and the 3-point contest. This is where I say that the players are. This is why it's important to have a player-driven league, because I was even though I didn't care much about the slam dunk contest, even though I didn't care much about the skills challenge, because the players that were in it, it made me tune in, and because of the incredible analysts, commentary from Ernie or the TNT crew, and it was just a great experience. I enjoyed watching Sabonis win. Shouts out to Sabonis. Sabonis beating Vucevic in the skills competition. I went crazy when Chris Paul missed the game winning. Well, for the skills challenge, the game winning layup. I'm like, Chris, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, and then one of the big moments was the 3-point contest. Now, when you looked, I mean, you saw Steph, and then the next, like, it was Mike Conley, it was Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, and it's like, I mean, it's easy. Like, this is going to be easy for Steph. Like, it's like, I understand Damian Lillard was supposed to do it, but he backed out, I think, due to rest and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, this is about to be easy for Steph. But the way that the players made it so exciting, the way that Mike Conley, Steph Curry, of course, did win the 3-point contest, but he only won by 1 point after, beating Mike Conley, 28-27 in the last round. Steph Curry dropped a 31-point round. It was just exciting. It was exciting because you had players, and you had players that were all in. Even if they weren't all in, they seemed like it. Like you watched Steph Curry the entire night, and you can tell that he was enjoying himself. You can tell that he was happy. You look at Mike Conley, you look at Donovan Mitchell, you look at even the players that said they didn't want to be there, like LeBron James. He didn't play the entire second half of the All-Star game, but he was excited. He was there. He brought the energy. Giannis, who we'll talk about in a second, he brought the energy. So, shouts out for the NBA for putting on a incredible night. And if we'll go to the All-Star game, it was the All-Star game really showed how far the league has come. When we look, unfortunately, KD wasn't there due to, recovering from injury. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid were game day scratches because I think contact tracing with a barber or something like that. Fortunately, they didn't get, come into contact with anybody else. But the All-Star game really showed just how far the league has come. Like, when you look at the shots that Steph Curry was shooting, Steph Curry, I think, hit a couple of shots as soon as he stepped over half court. He hit, and I think he hit like 3 of them. Damian Lillard hit a shot beyond half court. Like, and, you hear people like Skip Bayless and other people like, back in the day, those would be horrible shots, which they would be. But the fact that you have some elite shooters, and the fact that you have someone like Mike Conley, who I would not have even expected or imagined to be the runner-up in the 3-point contest. Like, it was just great to see. And shouts out to, like it shouts out to Giannis Antetokounmpo for I think being the first player ever to win the All-Star Game MVP while going perfect from the field by shooting more than like 5 shots. He shot 16. He went 16 for 16. Now most of them were dunks. I know he had like 2 or 3 threes. He had 35 points. So shouts out to him, 2-time MVP and now a finals MVP. I mean, not a finals, I'm sorry. All-Star Game MVP. Just shouts out to the whole night, man. Shouts out to the whole night. I totally forgot about the Kobe Bryant format. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I totally forgot about the Kobe Bryant format that they are starting to implement. And I do love how they are sticking with the Kobe Bryant award, which is the All-Star MVP. So it was just a great night. It was a great night for the league. It was a great night for all the stars. And it was a great night for HBCUs. It was just a great night. And like I said, it was, it was good because I completely, trust me, we were about second quarter. And when they said, get ready for the slam, I said, oh shoot, the slam dunk contest. I totally forgot about it. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even care, but I didn't want to watch it until I saw Anthony Simon. Shouts out to Anthony Simon for winning the slam dunk contest. I saw him go out there, and I saw Cassius Stanley. I saw Obi Toppin. And I do like how a lot of those people, they're all, well, except for Anthony Simon, they're rookies. Obi Toppin and Cassius Stanley are rookies. But the league was able to showcase them, and they put on a really good performance. So, and it's funny. These are just my thoughts in the game, of course, and thoughts on the night. But it's just funny when you see the vets against the people that probably wouldn't been there that much. Like, you didn't see much of Mike Conley, but because he was just soaking in the moment, is what he said. They tried their hardest to get Zion to dunk as much as possible, and he missed a couple of them because you can tell he was nervous. The All-Star, the slam dunk contest, a lot of people, this is the first time they're introduced to Obi Toppin. This is the first time they were introduced to Cassius Stanley. I know somebody called me and was like, yo, who is Cassius Stanley? I'm like, he went to Duke, everything. So it was just a good night. It was a good night. Again, I was one of the people, I didn't think that they should have had a All-Star game due to the pandemic. And from what I've seen, a lot went down in Atlanta outside of the NBA, but the fact that people were like, the NBA knew what they were doing. They know that, of course, you can say they don't want any parties, this, that, and the third, or they're not going to be attached to any parties, which I don't think they were, but you know what you're doing when you pick a place like Atlanta. Atlanta's been open for damn near a year now, and it's like, that you're going to get the most views and a lot of people are going to come down, even though they're not the game. A lot of buzz is going to circulate around the All-Star game due to the fact that it is in Atlanta. So, shouts out to the NBA for doing it right. And shouts out to all the stars and everything and all the HBCUs that participated in All-Star Weekend. Pretty much, if you want to call it a weekend. So, and the thing is, I am excited for what's to come. I'm excited, Lord willing, next year when the All-Star game comes, or All-Star Weekend, and we're able to get, like I said, the celebrity game again. We're able to get the Team USA against Team World and stuff like that. We're able to have a proper slam dunk contest and a proper 3-point contest. And the fact that I think that if the place was full with fans, they would have went crazy for Steph Curry, for the 3-point contest. They would have went crazy for Dame and Steph in the All-Star game, and shouts out to Bradley Beal for, I think, leading team LeBron and scoring. I mean, Team Durant in scoring. I think he had like 26. I'm just excited to see, moving forward when the world opens up a little bit more, fans and stuff. So shouts out to that.